2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale and breathe normally. So that's the exercise of focusing the mind. And often when we sit down to do a meditation practice, we're coming from something else. And so mind is carrying a lot of mental baggage with it. It's carrying a leftover process of what we just came from. So sitting, and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to go and sit and just for 10 minutes, I'm going to sit and practice. First thing you do is take a couple of those deep cleansing breaths, clearing the field, relaxing the body, sending the message to your cells that everything is okay. It's safe. So we can relax and we can be safe. So that's the first thing, to send that message to the cells. So 2 or 3 really deep breaths, because that oxygenates the body and it sends the message through the blood to the cells that we can relax now. You don't have to defend yourself, because cells are intelligent. All of our cells in our body have an intelligence, and they read the blood. They read the content of the blood to know how to act, what to do. And when the blood, yes,
you might want to start again from the beginning, because we have 3 teachers that just joined us a few seconds ago, and they weren't able to get the first part of the lesson. So if there's any way we can bring everybody in on the same heartbeat, that would be very helpful.
Okay. So should we start now, or are we waiting still?
No, everybody's here now.
Okay.
We have 6 people.
Okay. Well, good morning, great teachers. So grateful to have you all here today, and so grateful to be able to share with you these techniques to bring peace to you, to yourself, because that's where peace begins. We say it's an inside job. As we create peace in ourselves, we begin to see more peace out in the world. And that may not sound intuitive, but it actually works that way, as we will see as we go along. So we were just reviewing the lesson from a few weeks ago. And the lesson from a few weeks ago was twofold. The first technique was a very simple technique to clear the system, to clear our energy systems of negativity, worry, anxiety, regret, fear, any of those negative things that are in the way of us finding peace. So that's just a simple filling the torso with air, just as much air as you can get in by expanding your stomach and expanding your rib cage and throwing your shoulders back. And then as you let it go, you can actually even sigh and just go, ah. And that sends a message to the cells, to all of the cells in your body. It sends the message that it's safe. It's okay to relax. You don't have to be in a defensive mode. We're not at war. We are okay. Everything is just fine. So that breathing technique connects to the cells, because breathing changes the content of the blood. And the cells, all of the cells in our body, are intelligent. And they read the blood, they read the content of the blood to know what to do, to build proteins, to go shut down and go into defensive mode, or to whatever it is they need to do. So if the cells are reading the chemicals in the blood that say we're worried, we're anxious, we're concerned, we're afraid, then the cells tend to shut down in order to conserve energy to send to the large muscles so we can run away or fight. So what we want to do is send a message to the cells through the blood that there's no war going on. We're at peace. And that happens through bringing a lot of oxygen into the blood. So that's why that breathing technique works, because it sends the message through oxygen cells to the blood, or to the cells in the body, that we're okay and we can relax. So that's the first step. Then the mind, this chatterbox up here, which we sometimes call the monkey mind, and we call it a monkey mind because it can be wild. It can go off and create fantasies. It can create ideas. It can create notions that we are in a certain situation when we're actually not. The mind is not always an accurate interpreter of our experience. So we want to calm that mind. And again, as I said earlier, I look at the mind like it was a 3-year-old child. It's like it's a little child. And we all know that little children, they're cute, they're wonderful, but sometimes they can be wild and out of control. So as parents, we want to find a way to bring the mind from its state of concern, panic, just wildness, to a focused state where it's just very stable and focused on a particular activity. So if you've got a child that's screaming because you wouldn't give it a candy bar, you might take that child, pick it up in your arms and say, it's okay, honey, we got this. Here's something we can do. And you put the child down in front of a coloring book or a puzzle or something that it will reframe its vision and start to address another task, and a task that requires it to focus its attention. So that's what we're doing with the mind. When we break the breath down into 4 segments, as we did a few weeks ago. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. And we want to take each one of those 4 segments of the breath and try to make it relatively equal in time. So I do it by counting. And when I count, I'm counting, I use 7. You can use whatever, you can use 4, whatever. I don't want you to struggle to breathe. This should be an exercise that is focused but relaxed at the same time. So whatever the number is that you can do comfortably without struggling, without choking, that's the number you use. So I'm using 7, and I'll just give you an example. I'll talk you through the example of how I do it. So it's inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale and breathe normally. So if you do that exercise for just 2 or 3 minutes, it will focus the mind into a single point. Then we can move on to the next phase that I want to introduce today, and it's a very simple phase. This is much simpler than the exercise we just did with the segmented breath. This is just, again, start by taking a couple of deep breaths. And remember, always breathe in through your nose if you can. You've got enough clearance in your nostril. When you breathe in through your nose. When you breathe out, you can breathe out through your nose or your mouth, either way. But breathe in through your nose. We've got, I'm going to request that you folks put yourself on mute, because we're getting some noise through here, which is a little distracting. So go ahead and mute your phones and until you're ready to ask the question, which we'll get to later. So this next technique, after clearing the field again with some deep breaths, then you just sit quietly with your eyes closed. Your focus is on your heart. And what we're going to do is today we're going to introduce the idea of breathing into my heart. So I'm breathing through my nose, but the air I'm envisioning the air going into my heart, and then breathing out of my heart back out through my nose or my mouth. And it's going to be a very gentle, once we get relaxed, this breath is going to become gentle, it's going to become shallow, and it's going to become slow. So, but this is the natural breath. This is not, you're not controlling the breath. The exercise we just did was about controlling the breath. This next phase or section is about just the opposite. You're just allowing the breath to come and go in its own time, as it wants to go, as it wants to come. Because the breath, the reason we use the breath is because the breath is always with you. You don't have to go find some object to use to meditate. You don't need a certain photograph or a necklace or an amulet or something physical to focus your meditation on. The breath is always with you. So you always have that tool to use to calm and focus your attention. Your attention is on the breath. You are actually going to be feeling the breath moving into your heart and out of your heart in its own time, in its own pace. Because the breath, to me, represents God's love. It's the Holy Spirit. Inspiration means the bringing in of spirit. So this is the spirit of life, which flows to you and through you in every moment. You don't earn it. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to control it. It just happens. All we're doing is putting our attention on that breath as it comes and goes. We're not trying to control it. So let's be clear about that. So we're just watching the breath, feeling the breath, observing the breath. And as it comes in and out of our heart, after a while, we'll start to feel something that's what I call peace. And it's just a very, well, you'll have your own experience of it. But for me, it's just a very calming, very reassuring feeling that all is well, everything is all right. And that, again, sends that message to all my cells so they can relax. So this is actually allowing peace, which is a natural state of the body, of the mind, allowing that natural state of peace to come forward by eliminating all of the stuff that's in the way. It's kind of like a sculptor. There's a famous sculptor named Michelangelo, and he was asked about his technique. How does he sculpt these beautiful statues? And he says, I look at a block of marble and I see the image inside of it that I want to expose, and I just shave away all of the marble that's not that image. So that's what we're doing with this meditation. We're just through calming and reassuring the body and the mind through this simple observation of breath. Slowly we begin to shave away all of the mental images that come and go that are in the way of our being in a state of normal, peaceful being. It's our natural state of being. So we're just returning to a natural state here by removing the obstacles of the mind and our worries about interactions with the world. So this is, again, closing the eyes and just observing, just being the watcher. It's almost as if you were in a theater and you're watching a play, and the breath is just coming and going, and we're just simply watching it. Now, it's not very entertaining. The breath is not going to do a song and dance for you. It's just coming and going, and it'll start out at one frequency, one level how often it happens and how deep it's breathing, and that's okay. But as you relax more and more, it'll become less, it'll become more shallow, and it'll become slower, and that's okay. And at some point, the breath will be very, very subtle. It'll be very soft, very slow, and very shallow. And that's what we will see as it naturally occurs. We don't have to make that happen. Again, this is a complete surrender of control. You're not on the stage. You're not an actor in the play. You're merely sitting in a seat watching the play happen. And this is an important concept that we will come back to as we get deeper into this over the next couple of lessons. So this lesson is simply closing the eyes, placing the attention on the center of the chest, and letting the breath come in its own natural pace, feeling the breath moving in, moving out, moving in, moving out. And you can be aware, breath is coming in, breath is going out, breath is fast, breath is slow, breath is deep, breath is shallow, breath is warm, breath is cool, breath is moist, breath is dry. All of those things that are thoughts that might go through your mind, and that's okay. That's awareness. You're just being with your breath, you're watching it. But along with the mind that wants to describe the breath, there's a feeling of that breath. And as you breathe in and out of your heart, you can start to get this feeling in the center of your chest. It's a very light, it's a feeling of, it's just a feeling of peace. I can't describe it any other way, but it starts to come after a while. So, but again, it's not something we want to try to make happen. This is something we're going to allow to happen. So the practice at this point is observing the breath, watching the breath, breathing into the heart, and beginning to feel the heart, because our attention is on the heart, beginning to feel that heart energy become amplified, become magnified, start to get a little stronger. And so that's as simple as it can get. Now, here's what's going to happen. We're going to start that. We're going to start to focus on our breath. And then at some point, you're going to come into the awareness that, oh my God, I'm not watching my breath anymore. I'm off in my head. The monkey mind has taken over and is off thinking about something else. That's okay. That's going to happen. I can promise you that will happen. It happens to me. It happens to everybody who meditates. You start the practice, and next thing you know, you come to realize, I'm not doing the practice anymore. My mind is taken off and gone somewhere else. That's the point at which you go, mind has wandered, and that's okay. But now you're going to bring the mind back to the heart and to the awareness of the breath. This is how this meditation is going to work for you for some time. I'm going to be focused on my breath, be feeling it in my heart, focused on the breath, feeling it in my heart. Oh my God, I've been thinking about soccer. I've been thinking about the Ugandan team. I've been thinking about my girlfriend. I've been thinking about a school. I'm not thinking about my breath anymore. That's okay. Mind has wandered. Bring it back to the heart, back to the breath. Breathing, focused attention on breath. And then the awareness that, oh, I'm thinking about something else. That's okay. Mind has wandered. Bringing it back to the heart, back to the breath. That's the process. And for some time, that's what meditation is going to look like for you. And that's okay, because there are great benefits that will arise from this, even this level of meditation. So that's the practice that I'm going to encourage you to try out in the days ahead. Set aside, if you can, set aside 15 minutes a day to sit, clear clear your system with some deep breaths. Do the segmented, the 4-part breathing for a couple of minutes just to focus the mind, and then just sit with the breath for 10 minutes. And then it'll be what it'll be. And you'll have, but the temptation will be to be in judgment about how well I'm doing with this. Well, I sat for 10 minutes, but I only focused on the breath for maybe 30 seconds during that time. That's okay. That's a start. That's where we begin, one step at a time. So no judgment, no need to control, just continuously, mind has wandered, return it to the heart, return it to the breath, and stay with that as long as you can. And when you realize you're not there anymore, mind has wandered, back to the heart, back to the breath. All right, so at this point, I think I'm going to ask for, there's one more technique I want to introduce before we go today, but this one I want to ask if there are any questions from the teachers about what we've covered so far. I think this would be a good place to get some feedback and maybe some questions and maybe some comments about what you've done so far and how it's been working or not working. So anyone who has questions, this would be a good time. No questions. I must be a great teacher. or a horrible teacher, one of the two.
It was like a recap what we gone through last time, so we don't have any questions.
Okay. Okay, so again, the practice is going to be sit down in a quiet place where you won't be interrupted, where there's no distractions, if you can find such a place. 2 or 3 deep breaths to clear the energy field. 4-part segmented breath for a couple of minutes to focus the mind. Observing the breath for 10 minutes or so, just watching the breath. Mind has wandered, bring mind back to the heart, breathing, allowing the breath to move in and out of the heart at its own pace. And then when your time is up doing that, there's another exercise that I want to introduce that you can do at any time during the day. You can do, I like to end the meditation with this, but you can do this at any time. And this is what we call a series of affirmations. And the affirmations go like this. You're actually going to say to yourself, either out loud or just in your mind, you're going to say the following. May I be happy. Can everybody say that? May I be happy. You say it. May I be happy.
May I be happy.
There you go. All right, so that's the first one. And then the second one is, may I be peaceful. So say that, may I be peaceful.
May I be peaceful.
Good. The third one is, may I be safe. May I be safe.
May I be safe.
Safe. Okay. And then the fourth one is, may I be free. May I be free.
May I be free.
Okay, so it's,
May I be free.
okay, so we're going to go through it. I'm going to say it. You're going to say it right after me, okay? Call and response. May I be happy.
May I be happy.
May I be safe.
May I be safe.
May I be happy. May I be safe.
May I be peaceful.
May I be peaceful.
May I be peaceful.
May I be free.
May I be free.
Free.
All right, so I did that out of order. So let's go through it one more time. May I be happy.
May I be happy.
May I be happy.
May I be peaceful. May I be peaceful.
May I
May I
be
be peaceful.
May I be safe.
May I be safe.
May I be free.
May
I
May I
be
be
free.
free.
Okay, That's part one. Part two, same thing, but now, may my loved ones be happy.
May my loved ones
my
be
loved
happy.
one be happy.
May my loved ones be peaceful.
May my loved ones be peaceful.
May my loved ones be peaceful.
May
Come on,
my
let's do
loved
it.
ones be safe.
May my loved ones be
Be
safe.
safe.
May my loved ones be free.
May my loved
my
ones
loved ones
be
free.
Okay.
Come on,
And then, and then there's one more. There's one more section. There's three sections to this. The third one is, may all beings be happy.
May
All
beings
beings be happy.
May all beings be peaceful.
May all
May
beings
All
all
beings be
peaceful.
peaceful.
May all beings be safe.
May
All
beings
beings be
be
safe.
be safe.
May all beings be free.
May
May
all
all beings be
beings
free.
be free.
Be
Okay,
free.
so this is what I would encourage you to do when you end your meditation. Go through that and do, may I be happy, peaceful, safe, and free. Do that 3 times. May my loved ones be happy, peaceful, safe, and free. Do that 3 times. And then may all beings be happy, peaceful, safe, and free. Do that 3 times. That then will wrap up your meditation and will send you into the world with your heart open,
May I be?
your body radiating peace, love, and joy. And then you will be in the world, and then the world will take you and start to shave all of that peace and joy and everything away from you. But you have a way now to go and refill your fuel tank with peace, joy, and love, because you have these techniques to work with. And then anytime during the day, if you get a minute, you can do it's what we call metta, or the compassion exercise. The compassion exercise is about, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be safe, may I be free, may my loved ones be happy, peaceful, safe, and free. May all beings be happy, be peaceful, be safe, and free. That's the compassion exercise. And that works through thoughts to open up your heart, as well as the breathing awareness. So this week is Open Up My Heart Week. This is about doing exercise to focus on the heart energy and to amplify it so that it radiates out into our world. So we have questions about that.
Just so everybody knows, we did record this session this morning. It's afternoon over there. So it will be available online if you want to practice between now and when you have your next session with your students. You can review this at whenever it's convenient for you.
And so we will gather again on, it'll be Sunday evening in Uganda, and you'll be working with students, and I'll be there to answer questions that you might have while you're teaching the students, but you'll be doing the teaching. I'll just be observing. And but I'll be there as a resource if you need questions answered. So that's what I've got to offer today. Is there anything else that people want to ask about or request?
Well, we never met each other. Things got off to such a hectic start. Maybe everybody could share their names before we go.
Well, I'm Reverend Gene.
Okay. Thank you, Reverend Gene. Thank you for your class. Thank you for your teaching.
I'm John.
Good to meet you, John. Thank you for all your hard work in bringing these lovely people together. I really enjoyed your company, and we're very much looking forward to Sunday.
Daphne. I'm
You said
Sharon.
it- Hi, Cheryl.
I'm Goret.
All
Judith.
right. Nice to meet all of you all.
Thank
We're
you. Nice to meet you too.
very much looking forward to Sunday. We're very
Wow.
excited to see how this rubs off, and we're gonna hopefully do more trainings as we go along. We'll take what happens Sunday, and I'm sure after you do the class Sunday, you will have questions for Reverend Jean.
Thank you so much to Reverend Jean and Brother Zachary for making this possible, and the teachers who have turned up. Thank you so much for giving your time to this mission. Gradually, we will get there.
Yes, and so
Children need peace, as we also need it.
I'm sorry, to the teachers, if you have questions this week, because you want to practice this before you try to teach it on Sunday. So if you have questions during the week about the practice, give your questions to John. John will can send them to me via messenger, and then I can answer them for you during the week. So when you come into the class on Sunday, you'll have some experience of doing the techniques, and you can get your questions answered before the class.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. It was very wonderful to meet you all. You all are good people. You're doing something good for your country and for humanity. And we definitely appreciate your service and the time that you're contributing to this effort to make things better for ourselves and for our children. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Reverend Guy and Brother Zachary. Bye.
See you Sunday.
Okay.
We meet on
Waiting.
Sunday.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.